not to turn back on ourselves too much, but I wanted to bring up the topic of how there's sometimes these completely unaccounted for moments in wrestling that can change the entire course of a storyline and, in extreme cases, the industry, a la Austin. Now, I don't think that this is going to happen, but with recent news, we know now that Roman Reigns is not going to be challenging Goldberg at WrestleMania for the Universal title. And who's taking his place? It's Braun Strowman, right? Now,
That's right.
do I think that Braun Strowman is going to take this opportunity to become the next Steve Austin? No, I don't think he's ready at all. Do I think that if they book it right, it could put Braun Strowman over like crazy and give him back some of the star power that I think that he lost in the last year or two? Yes, absolutely. It's WrestleMania. Like,
Yeah.
these are the big crowning moments of people's careers. Braun Strowman should get the belt, but it all depends on how they book it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Why don't you ran it by me already, but so let's do a little fantasy booking right now. If you could book Braun Strowman versus Goldberg, how would you book it? Because you have a whole idea already set up. How would you run this bad boy?
Oh yeah, it's it's way too long and convoluted. But the basic idea would be that Braun Strowman comes out and he cuts a promo where it feels like it's more of a shoot than just a wrestling promo. And we've never really seen Braun Strowman cut promos like this before. It's always been, get these hands, I'm a big giant man, I'm going to run around the ring and knock people down, right? Like, so it's kind of a little bit out of character, but because of that sort of jarring nature of him cutting a promo, it feels a lot more real, where he claims that, it's a real shame that Roman Reigns isn't going to be able to go to WrestleMania, but he did the right thing because we all know, what is Roman Reigns' real name again? It's like
Joe. His name is
Joe.
like
Yeah,
Joe, and like something. I don't
right.
know
He
the
might
last
even
name.
say in the promo, like, Joe, you made the right decision, considering the circumstances. I'll be taking your place, something along those lines. You claim that you were next for Goldberg, but now that I'm facing Goldberg, I'm last. Your time is over, old man. And he goes on, he talks about how he's bigger and stronger, faster at WrestleMania. He's going to retire Goldberg. So this is a lot more of a focused, kind of terrifying Braun Strowman, because he's not just the big giant guy. He has his eyes set on the prize. No more gimmicks. Then after that, he goes on to have a match with Bobby Lashley. And the reason why this is important is because Bobby Lashley uses the spear. Now, I don't actually know what the status of Bobby Lashley is right now. Is he like out? Out with
Yeah,
injury?
he's out. No, he's out because I read yesterday that he also doesn't want to. He doesn't want to work Mania or anything. He's a little
Hmm.
concerned.
Okay.
That's what I heard, that he's concerned with the whole coronavirus thing. So I don't believe that he's there.
So this is fantasy booking. We'll pretend that Bobby Lashley's okay to wrestle. He has a match with Braun. It's a pretty stiff match between the two of them. They've gone up in matches against each other before. At some point in the match, Lana distracts Braun. Lashley hits a spear. Braun kicks out of it, kind of at the last second. And then Braun gets back to his feet. He's kind of wobbling around. And then he turns around and he eats another spear, but he rolls out of the ring before Lashley can cover him. Braun kind of collects himself. He goes on the offensive. He busts out a jackknife powerbomb, which I don't think we've ever seen him use before. And he puts away Bobby Lashley for the 1-2-3. Michael Cole has a conniption fit and starts screaming, "It's the Braun bomb! It's the Braun bomb!" Then Braun gets on the mic
Wow.
and he starts to cut a promo on Goldberg, saying, "Okay, I have all the answers I need now. There's nothing left for me to learn," and he leaves. All right, what does that mean? WrestleMania weekend rolls around. Braun comes out to kind of limited fanfare. There's no fans, obviously. The arena's pretty, it's empty, right? So he just sort of walks down to the ring. He's all business. He gets in there. Goldberg comes out. He gets completely gassed by the time he comes down to the ring 5 minutes later. He smashes his face in a bottle and is absolutely not capable of wrestling a match. So when they square off in the ring, it's going to be a fast one because we know Goldberg isn't really capable of going longer than a couple minutes, anyways. They're sort of filling each other out. Two giant behemoths here, right? Goldberg gets the first hit in, strikes hard with a kick, and then Irish whips Braun into the ropes. He himself hits the ropes in the opposite direction, lines up for the spear, but Braun sidesteps it. Goldberg eats the mat. At this point, the arena's empty, right? So we can kind of hear what's going on in the ring, and the mic's picking up everything, and Braun just is basically saying, like, that's not going to work on me, old man. So he's taunting Goldberg as if to say, like, I'm right here, come on, spear me. So Goldberg hits the ropes again to build up momentum. Braun's just dead center of the ring, and Goldberg nails him with a spear, except there's one problem. Braun just eats the spear. He eats it and he grabs Goldberg, and you can kind of see in Goldberg's eyes, he's like, I f***ed up. This is not good. So Braun sets him up. He's got him in his grip. He sets him up. He jackknifes him. Boom. Devastating. Right in the center of the ring. And he hooks the leg in the grapevine leg lock that Goldberg is known for using. 1, 2, 3. We have a new Universal Champion. That's how I would book it. It's kind of basic, but we don't have a lot of time to work with. I mean, we've got like 2 weeks until Mania, and he was a last minute replacement. But I think seeing Braun transition from this kind of cartoony character to more of a legitimate, scary, giant man who, in the real world, of course, Braun Strowman would destroy Goldberg. He's like 20 years younger, and he's got 50 pounds on him and a couple inches, right? Like,
Probably
Braun
even
Strowman
more.
should absolutely win this match. The question is, will he?
Yeah, well, who knows, right? But I guess the point of the way you're booking this whole thing is, and I even told you, it kind of reminded me of the way that Undertaker was booked against Lesnar or how he was booked against Roman Reigns, which is
Mm,
sort of like, look, he's this whole legend, but he just doesn't, I mean, he just can't, how he can't tap into the well anymore. He's just too old. And here comes this new killer in the case of Roman Reigns, who's just basically saying the same thing, like, just stay down, old man. I don't know if you remember that match, but
right,
he speared him like a gazillion times
that's
until he
right,
finally put him away. And it was kind of like that whole like young lion versus the old lion, and we all know how that works. Like
right.
the old lion eventually has to get eaten.
Jesus,
Ultimately, look, at the end of the day, Braun is the younger guy. We all know that Goldberg's not going to be around tomorrow. He's just going to do what he's going to do. He's going to get paid. And Braun is, he's the young guy. He's the guy who needs the rub.
right, right. What do you think the chances of them actually keeping the belt on Goldberg are? Do you think it's high? Like, what
Oh
forbids
boy.
us here? Do you think keeping the belt
Oh,
on Goldberg would actually make more sense from the WWE perspective? Because hey, he's a big name still. He's still probably a fairly big draw. But, like, does that even matter in the age of coronavirus where the arena is freaking empty? Like, they're not making any money off of this match. Not in the grand scale that they should at a normal WrestleMania event, right?
no,
They don't
no,
have
not
to
at
worry
all.
about draw. So why don't we focus on the storyline and build up the younger talent and give him something to really put behind his belt and say, like, I have the experience. I took out Goldberg. Like, I'm the champion now.
Yeah. Oh, that's a tough one, man. Honestly, I think I don't know. I can't answer this. I feel like maybe it's only a good idea to have Goldberg go over just because it's a WTF moment that and they know that. Like they know that if Goldberg retains the belt, all of us are just going to be like, "What?" You
Yeah,
know? And I feel like at least it would just kind of be like it would be a WTF moment and we would all be shocked. But obviously, conventional thinking would say he's an older guy. He's basically just trying to. It's just you're going by name value. That's basically why he's here. He's a part timer at best. Like you can't even call him a part timer. Like he's a 1-2 times a year guy at
right.
best. He can't win the match.